When did your family realize they were wrong about you? My brother Kevin called me the day after our mother died. I hope you're happy. She asked for you at the end and you weren't there. Kevin had always been a jerk, but this one really hurt. I'd been on a work trip when mom took a turn for the worse, and I rushed home. But I made it to the hospital an hour after she passed. The funeral's on Saturday, and the will reading is right after, he said. Think you'll be able to make it this time, or are you too busy? At the funeral, my aunt pulled me aside and said, I saw Kevin here all the time when I visited your mother. He'd have those sweet grandbabies with him. It's so important for children to know their grandmother. I wanted to scream that I'd called mom every single Sunday for 5 years, but I just nodded. After the service, my uncle cornered me and said, you know, people without children just don't understand family the same way. Kevin made your mother a grandmother. That's a real legacy. I bit my tongue instead of saying I'd been paying mom's medical bills for 2 years. My cousin brought me a plate of food and said, I ran into Kevin at the grocery store near your mom's place at least once a month. He was always there getting things for her. Where do you live again? 2 hours away? I'd flown home 6 times in 2 years for mom's procedures, but apparently that meant nothing. Kevin's wife found me in the hallway and said, Kevin spent so much time taking care of your mother. We had to rearrange our whole lives around her needs. It put such a strain on our family. I'd spent $60,000 on mom's medical bills without telling anyone, but sure, Kevin sacrificed so much. Kevin walked past me and said loud enough for everyone to hear. At least she showed up to this. That's more than we usually get. We gathered in mom's dining room for the will reading. The lawyer set up her laptop and opened a folder. Kevin sat at the head of the table looking smug. The lawyer cleared her throat and said, the house, valued at $450,000, goes to her daughter. The room went dead silent. The lawyer continued, her savings and investment accounts totaling $320,000 also go to her daughter. Kevin stood up so fast his chair fell over. He screamed, this is effing insane. I was there every goddamn week. She sat in her apartment alone rotting while this selfish bitch built her career. She doesn't even have kids. What's she going to do with a 4-bedroom house? His wife grabbed his arm and said, she must have been on medication. She wasn't thinking clearly. We need to contest this. The lawyer said, your mother was examined by 2 separate doctors and found completely mentally competent when she updated her will 6 months ago. She also recorded a video message that she insisted be played at this reading. She turned the laptop around and pressed play. Mom appeared on screen looking thin and tired, but her eyes were fierce. She said, if you're watching this, I'm dead, and I'm sure Kevin is losing his absolute mind right now. Kevin's mouth fell open. Mom smiled and said, Kevin, sweetie, let me tell you a story. You visited me exactly 37 times in 5 years. I kept a list in my nightstand with dates. Every single visit you asked me for money. $15,000 for your kitchen because you couldn't stand your old countertops. $8,000 for your wife's car. $12,000 for dental work. $5,000 for a vacation to Hawaii. Shall I continue? Kevin's face went from red to white. Mom said, last month you came over needing $7,000 for new furniture because your old couch had a stain. You brought the kids and they sat on their devices the entire time without speaking to me. Not one word. You gave me your little speech about money being tight, and the second I handed you the check you were out the door. My aunt gasped. Mom kept going and her voice got louder. My daughter called me every single Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. for 5 years straight. She never missed one. Not when she had the flu. Not when she was traveling for work. She asked about every single doctor appointment and every medication change. She flew home 6 times when I had surgeries and procedures, sleeping in hospital chairs and using all her vacation time. Tears were pouring down my face. Mom said, 2 years ago, I accidentally found out your sister has been paying my medical bills. She never told me. She never asked for anything back. She never even mentioned it. Meanwhile, Kevin, you asked me for money 37 times and never paid back a single dollar. Kevin tried to speak, but nothing came out. Mom said, so Kevin, you get absolutely nothing. Not one penny. Not because I stopped loving you, but because you stopped loving me the second I couldn't write you checks anymore. Your sister gets everything because she's the only one who loved me without a price tag attached. I hope you learned something from this, but honestly, you're too much of a selfish prick to change. The video ended. Kevin screamed at me and his wife had to drag him out. He contested the will and lost every appeal. I live in mom's house now.